Hi, I'm Alicia and welcome to the Mintay Papers YouTube channel. Today I'm sharing a Halloween project. This has some little photos of my children mixed in with beautiful fussy cut images. I started with the Mintay pumpkin chippy and I painted it with the mustard Kreativa chalk paint. I also used the Halloween chippy and the Autumn Book, which I absolutely adore. I also added a few little things from the Golden Days 12x12. To begin with, I decided to paint the pumpkin chippy in the mustard Kreativa paint. This paint really is the perfect colour for fall projects or Halloween projects. I used a foam brush to apply the paint, which seems to work really well with the Mintay chippies. Next up, I took the Halloween chippy and I just used a black permanent marker to colour in the pieces that I was interested in using in my project. Once I had coloured those in, it was time to take a craft blade and carefully press those chippy images out of the base page. Once I had pressed out the Halloween chippies, I went around and pressed out the pumpkin chippy as well, so that everything was ready to go for my project. Next, I looked through one of my favourite Mintay books, the Autumn Book. I absolutely love this book and I thought this would be perfect to use as a background for my pumpkin chippy. I put some glue on the reverse side of the pumpkin so that I could paste the paper onto the back of my pumpkin. Then I took a craft knife and I cut very carefully around the edge of the pumpkin. I had already fussy cut many images from the fall booklet. I like to fussy cut images because it inspires me for what to create with my projects. You can always use the scraps from your chipboard to use as cardboard or mounting tape behind your elements for extra dimension. I wanted to create extra dimension with this project. To give it a Halloween feel, I inked all of the edges of my elements with black ink. I liked this window and I wanted to have it as my centerpiece with some of my chippy and some floral pieces coming out from behind the window. I also wanted to have lots of layers and lots of dimension between my layers, so I spent a lot of time cutting little bits of chippy and creating thickness between my layers of paper so that I would have a dimensional project. I used this cute little haunted house. I wanted it to be at the front of the window to create that Halloween feel. So I glued that on the front there and I wanted to have spider webs coming out from the back. I continued to layer items at the top and at the bottom on both sides of the window. I'd put in one floral cluster, then I'd add some more chippy, and then I'd have another floral cluster. I added in some cute little bats as well into the window, which these are really good bats that just looks fabulous, I think. I also added in a little ghost popping out there. And I like this little scarecrow. I think he's really cute, so I wanted to add him in to my Halloween collage. I had some photos of my boys from their trick-or-treating last year for Halloween. And so I decided to cut the images of them out from the photo and just sort of layer them into the photo. So here we've got the two of them. One is half cut off in the photo, but I've sort of hidden him so he's kind of popping out. They're both in Spider-Man costumes, so they're sort of popping out from behind the layers. So it's a very subtle way to add a photograph into a project, but I felt that it suited this project because there was so many different layers and fussy cut images, so I decided to fussy cut the photographs and add them in the same way. You can see the other little photograph I've just popped in on the other side, the two of them sort of in their Spider-Man pose. So I've got the hidden little pose on that side of the window, and then I've got the other Spider-Man pose on the right hand side of the window. I also wanted to layer some fussy cut images along the bottom of my big cluster that I'm making here. So I cut the images in half and popped them along the bottom so that it's got an extra layer of flowers and things poking out from below the bottom of the haunted house. Finally, when I was happy with my big cluster, it was time to glue it on to my pumpkin. I positioned it in the middle of the pumpkin. I experimented with using a white liquid paper pen to add some highlights to the pumpkin chippy. And then finally, my project was finished. I added a little bit of ribbon to the base of the layout there as well. And you can see all the different layers and dimension in this project. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Mintay Papers YouTube channel for this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure that you are subscribed to the Mintay Papers YouTube channel and have a lovely crafty day.